What's up, my fellow humans? Wishing everybody much love, and I hope people are just feeling the love in the world that's growing. It's one thing that I've noticed at the beginning of making these recordings, sharing my thoughts. I was completely worried that the world was doomed, that we were just going down a path and it was going to be too late to turn back, and it was almost just going to be, is guaranteed we're going to live in a selfish world, a world run by the devil, basically, a world run by selfish people. That's like exactly what the devil would want. A world run by people claiming to be good people, claiming to be priests, claiming to be ones that are meant to show the light, but talk about or express limited belief structures, ones that propagate fear, neglect keeping some people out and letting others in. That's what religion is right and wrong, and it separates people. It doesn't bring people together, and that was the world that we were slowly going towards. But I can really feel that the world is actually changing to one of unconditional love. They say that, and they, who is they? Like mystical teachers and ancient texts, they talk that as above, so below. A lot of texts that have deep meaning as to how our reality is structured or how it works. As above, so below. Oh man, I hate when that happens. And there's deep truths in a lot of these scriptures across the board in all the different countries. They all have their own religion, and we've been taught and we've been living in a way that treats us as different, or they are right or we are right and they are wrong. And it's created this polarity of good and evil, which the evil was winning for so long. But people are coming back to this true love source, this unconditional love source, which is where we were all meant to be all along. It's so profound, because the religions teach us that a lot of the time they're corrupted by business to keep us needing more rather than empowering us. But they're all teaching the same message, but it's just been corrupted by mankind. That's what I want to do my best to bring the information forward that I don't hear many people speaking about. It's a really difficult thing to speak on because it's bridging thousands of years of corruption into a coherent truth that we can then lead our civilization forward off that truth now. So where we are at is this massive unveiling of all the lies to bring us to a coherent truth, a mindset, a religion, whatever word you want to say, that we all agree on is actually it's somewhat what I'm seeing in the world now. And it's just, I just want to just praise God for that, because I have such a weight lifted off my shoulders that this way of thinking is actually becoming commonplace. I see it so much. For example, I was in a job just 2 days ago where there's a mother, she's quite old, and her daughter, which is quite old, and I think she's a carer for her daughter. But I overheard them saying, as I was walking out, because one of them is very, very ill. You would look at her, and off first glance, you wouldn't think that this is how could this be a divine being, you know? Having all health issues, all the health issues, fat, got medical conditions, really having a hard reality here. And I heard them on my way out say, when they're on the phone or talking amongst themselves, that comparison is the, I think, like, devourer of all joy. It's not that exact. That's not the quote, but it's saying that comparison gets rid of joy. And these are the exact people who need to know that. I think previously people in that position were comparing themselves. And this is the greatest sin, is to, no matter where you are, to not find your highest thought in any and every moment. And they were, even at their place, they were still finding their highest thought. They were sitting around watching TV. They were probably on like some medication, because they could probably barely get around. But they're finding their highest thought. I think that's what's important, is wherever we are, no matter what's going on, to find our highest thought and be that. And I'm seeing that more in the world, from all different walks of life. It's all leveling out. Businesses are becoming less selfish, more about serving the person. This is all what I was talking about. It's all I'm seeing it now. So it's just, I'm gratified. I'm very grateful for that. I think what I want to bring forward as my message for today is how good and evil is the paradigm on how our reality is structured. It's off this constant battle between, do we do good or do we do evil? And they're actually two forces on the same team. That's a very profound realization. Because when you realize this, you start to realize that, again, it's just about the whole becoming one. And this is what they talk about in religions, about earning your way back into the kingdom of heaven. The earning part is the manipulation. You being rightfully always worthy and welcome into the kingdom of heaven is the truth. And the evil is only a construct there to show you a way to get back to the light. Say that again. Evil is only there to show you a way back to the light. So the whole time you think that evil is this despairing entity who wants to trap you in hell for eternity and forever torment you. It's wrong. Satan is actually a god or an angel who, there is only one God, so it's one of his angels. But all the angels are just a part of the whole, and we are then a dividends of that as well. So we are demi-gods, demi-angels, because we are created from that as well. So that's just an obvious fact. And this Satan is actually an angel here. He's got almost the best or most important mission out of almost all the angels. It's to show us enough darkness that we choose the light. And a lot of times people will be like, well, this is a rigged game. Because if you lose all the time and you're always choosing evil, or your negative thoughts, a negative way of thinking, then your brain will keep telling you that that was the only option, and it will protect its ego, and you'll end up going down that path. And there's many different levels of this. There's complete evil, pedophilia, and there's differing ranges of that spectrum. Satan in the Hebrew definition means bringer of light. Oh, no, Lucifer. So in the Christian religion, the Hebrew, I think it's Hebrew? Look it up. The actual meaning of Lucifer, this devil figure. My whole life I was scared that he was always tempting me, trying to get me to make the wrong decision so he could keep my soul in the inferno of hell. Such a scary thought. Such a scary thought. It just keeps you in this weird place all the time. Even if you don't believe that, just the slight knowing that I, as a individual, could be wrong. Any of us, we all know that even if we have a strong opinion, that we could be wrong. And that's a big one to be wrong about. That scares the shit out of me. Burning in hell. And the whole time, he wasn't trying to trap us in this hell. He was trying to give us enough of our temptations to the point where we get sick of it, where we can change. It might be a whole lifetime of torment before you actually get to the light. But without knowing the darkness, you would never appreciate the light. So as much as it's a rigged game, it's the way that it is. There's no other way. So then you can start to realize why there is evil in the world and such big disparities between some people is this battle of this angel tempting divine beings, human beings, to try and choose the light. Well, we've lived in a world that's been corrupted by this same figure who's corrupted so many people to take advantage of the innocent, which is a lot of the people who come like needing the help from religion, needing a savior. Satan has corrupted a lot of people and corrupted the religion itself to give people this fear that I was talking about. And then good people who might have chosen religion or chosen this unconditional love source will go away because they see the bullshit in there, which is why are some people being told they're not good enough and other people are. This is fundamentally just not, it can't be all truth then, because truth needs to be coherent for everybody. And, of course there's right and wrong though. So right and wrong, good and evil, are just two sides of the same coin. That's what I think is the point I'm trying to get across here. It's not that so you can put up with evil and be okay with that. That's not what we're doing. It's to see evil as just the exact thing that we are not, and that is beings that aren't rightfully from this world. We're actually from the astral world, where our souls came from. A lot of times, yeah, it's like that's one of the deepest things to first remember and realize when we're thinking about good and evil. Well, hang on a second. What's the real thing going on here? I've heard a lot of people talk about it, so I don't want to just say what other people say on spiritual videos, but this is all stuff that I've been searching for to find the truth that fits all of us. And that's why I think I just need to say some of the same things that other people have said, which is we are divine beings who needed to experience that which we are not. We were like children in heaven with our God, Creator, and we only knew unconditional love. We only knew that. We never knew what it was like to ask a question and not know the answer, or to experience what the opposite of love feels like. So evil or hate, to fully then appreciate love. So this whole reality has been created for us to experience that which we are not. And we are experiencing that in this world of polarity, this world of right and wrong. We get to experience it to bring back with us not just the knowing, but an actual experience of a sense of lack or depression or all the difficulties of being here. Once it's important to realize this, because then you realize it's all coming back to the same place. It's all going back to the same place. Analogy I was coming to, which turns out to be true, I looked up what was the first colors in the universe, and what is the main color? And the main color is white. Every single color is a byproduct of white. It's a different variation of white. But we don't see that when we see all the colors. We just see the colors. But really, it's all one color. It's just light. And that's, I think, just like a hidden cool thing in the colors to show us that we are all one. Everything in this reality is all one energy source, but we're here experiencing the differing energy sources that we couldn't experience in the world where we actually reside, which is in the like, obviously I don't know, but it's where the soul resides. It's the place before the Big Bang, or it's just home is the best way to think about it. It's home. That's where we go when we're finished here. And that way, when you see evil things happening, you can start to really take pity on it. And instead of judging it, you can start to give it the benefit of the doubt, realizing, like for something bad to happen, I don't care about the symptom, I care about why it's happened, the root cause. the child in his household and how he was cared for, to bring him up into this person who shoots up schools or is a pedophile. How did that happen? It came from this world of polarity, of good and evil, which is all part of that experience for us to choose what we want. And unless we take accountability for a lot of these darker things, then we're going to think they're separate to us. And we're never going to really take pity on them to help people. It's only when we see ourselves in it, that light is in the darkness, it's in everything, that we can actually bring ourselves into a position to help people. Make yourself available to help people is a really good point of this world. If that's what you find rings true for you. So yeah, it's very fascinating to me, being brought up as a Christian, to find out that the religion was manipulated to keep us in a lower vibration, a lower mindset of fear, rather than this mindset of abundance, realizing that even the darkest moments of our life are there just showing us these experiences that we need to learn how to choose the light, even in the bad experiences. And that's the deeper meaning of good versus evil, is this internal battle. That's why I do think it is a spiritual battle, because it's a lot of stuff that's happening inside of us is what projects into the outside. So first and foremost, it's an internal battle, which is what I call a spiritual battle. What else do I want to cover? Yeah, so the book that I was just finished reading is called Satan, a audio biography. And then the book I read before that is Conversations with God. It's a 3-book volume, a Trinity volume. And both of these unveil the truth of our reality. And that's where I would recommend people listening to or reading to hear how I came to some of these conclusions. Those books really spell it out a lot better than I could here. But the battle that I want to focus on is an internal battle of how I'm energizing to choose what the energy is going to be. I don't know if that made sense, but what I'm choosing the energy to be in the given moment. I'll leave you with a example in my life. It's working in a job that I disdain. So my job is a soul-sucking job. I'm working around pollutants, chemicals, and they're all getting in me and on me all the time. I'm confined a lot of the times, and I'm isolated. And I work too long. So I become spiritually drained. I've become fully drained as a human from this. But what I have to do is I have to learn how to find the light even in the darkness. So that's the battle. That's the battle that's happening. It's not a battle of feeling good. It's a battle of choosing the light even in darkness. That's why this wishy-washy sort of spirituality of, just feel good all the time, doesn't work for people who are living in this reality of constant struggles and deadlines where you can't just be happy. You can't just feel good. So you actually have to choose the light. That's the point here. It's a small way of thinking, or it's a small trick, but it has massive downstream effects. So every time, the epiphany that I had is, okay, what's really going on here at my work? Am I really this guy who just is unfortunate and ended up in this job where I just don't like it, and I just have, it's just an end, it's just the means to an end so I can provide for my family? Yeah, that's the first layer. But I want people to start realizing the deeper layers. The deeper layer is the truth, which is I have a choice to make every day. Do I focus on that, which I just explained, the despair mindset, or do I focus on transmuting all of this negativity into a light force? And the way I've done that is I've chosen to every day, even in those dark moments, to choose my customers' best result or best outcome. That's what I choose in my mind. I am choosing to be of service to another human. Even if it's in a job I don't like, I'm still going to choose to give this individual the best version of myself. So I'm going to focus on the job. I'm going to do the best I can on that job. And I'm not trying to sound all wishy-washy, like, oh, just be a good person. No, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm trying to give you factual ways to, in your darkest moments, still find the light. When all your kids are all screaming and there's chaos, how do you find the light? And this is how you do it in your life. You choose to give light. That's how you choose the light. So every day that I work, I choose to give my customers the sacrifice of me working for them. I'm ignoring the way the world works, which is they have to pay me for this service. Above that, I'm giving them my highest form of myself, my highest light, through giving them good work. Instead of thinking about this other way of thinking about it, where it's all negative, and I'm trapped in that. That becomes your life. Once you start choosing the light in your circumstances, you start creating this whole other reality where you actually start feeling good, even in a bad situation. This is where you will actually be transmuting darkness into light, which I think is the actual battle here. The deepest battle is a battle of light and darkness, and how we can every day choose the light, even when there is none around us. You are the light. That's what it comes down to. Shine your light. Be that beacon of light. Even in a job where everyone's just a number and there's no point to anything, make a point to it. Do your best work, even if it's pointless, even if it's monotonous and it's got no meaning. Do it for someone else. I love you all. I don't have all the answers, but I'm just a normal guy showing his life experience and trying to bring the deeper truths that I've found in my life, and I'm putting them all on the table with the hope that I help somebody. So yeah, I hope this has helped somebody. But in any case, I hope you enjoy what's rest of the day. I'm gonna go spend time with my family now. And it's not always easy and light, but we've just got to choose the light. That's the deeper mystical meaning behind this reality. It's a battle between light and darkness, and we are the vessels who get to choose which side of the fence you're going to be on. This is why I talk about finding your authentic self. Who are you? You've got to experiment with a lot of things that make you realize that you are not that, to then realize what you are. That's why I say don't judge yourself. Don't judge anything. Just watch what comes up, and that's who you are, and go towards that. You know, that's what they talk about, going towards your highest passion in life. You've got to do that, but you've got to have trials and tribulations to figure out actually what does make you feel good. Because short-term validation, short-term gratification, and short-term feelings of good are often fleeting. So you've got to then start to balance, well, what actually makes me feel good consistently? And this is learning about yourself. You, the divine creator of your reality. If you think you can, or you think you can't, both times you're going to be right. So choose your highest thought and move forward off that. Let's kill this week. In death there is birth. So that's what I mean by kill. Let's rebirth this week.